Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nik and Matt Get Goosebumps. I'm Matt.
I'm Nick.
And we're going to get goosebumps, aren't we?
Oh, God. I've already got them.
Oh, they're coming, because we got Welcome to Dead House.
Written by who?
R.L. Stine.
And his name comes up quite a bit in this series, doesn't it?
It does. I believe he wrote most, if not all, of the Goosebumps series.
I think there are probably some that he didn't do.
Well, you can't write them all. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He is the creator of the Goosebumps series, a series that we have loved ever since we were little walkers, little children, just learning how to walk.
Yeah.
At the age of 7, 8.
I mean, that's when I learned to walk. When did you learn to walk?
I wouldn't say I've mastered walking yet.
I mean, who has?
But we're getting there. Baby steps.
Literally.
That's what it's
not figuratively.
Exactly. So this first book came out in July 1992. This is somewhat of a 25th year anniversary.
It is the 25th anniversary of Goosebumps, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What did you think about this book, Nick? Just a broad strokes.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I read the book. It was the first time I had read it, and I gotta say, this is the book you launch your series with?
I hear a little bit of disdain in your voice here. Are you not saying that this should be the cornerstone of the Goosebumps series?
No. No.
Interesting.
Because I've read a lot of the books, but this was one that I had never gotten around to. But it was just crappy, shitty, no good.
Too scary for you?
No. I mean, it was certainly, it like, towards the end especially, it just got very gruesome. It was just like the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark over and over and over again. But for me, it was just, it took forever to get going. And I'm surprised that, like, a kid would be able to, like, not keep up with it, but stick with it. Because there's a lot of chapters of just nothing. And it's only, like, towards the end where it's like, okay, finally we know, like, what the threat is, what's going on, and it's all over so fast.
Do we know what the threat is? Are they zombies or are they vampires?
That's the thing. I don't know.
And that's the great thing about it. It breaks boundaries, Nick.
Does it?
It's got to.
What boundaries does it break, Matthew?
R.L. Stine thought that this book was too scary.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I can see that, especially for what age group this was geared towards. I mean, this is 8 to 12. It says right there on the back, 8 to 12.
Okay.
And, you're dealing with descriptions of, like, little kids melting and eyeballs rolling out of skulls and rolling around and...
The demise of Karen Somerset. We'll get to that later on.
We will get to that.
But so gruesome and haunting.
Well, I mean, appropriate for Dead House.
Even Amanda's dream. It's a horrifying dream.
Why don't you take it away with the summary and we'll get into this right proper.
Yeah, we'll do that. Nick, before we get into it, I want to know, do you want to be friends with me? Forever?
Wait, forever? Wait, where am I? Is this Dark Falls?
Do you see any light pouring through those clouds? Aren't the trees too tall
but it's
and
spring,
gnarly?
And spring is horrible, so...
No, yeah, you're right. It is kind of like Dark Falls right now.
It is.
You know what? Conveniently, Dark Falls is where Welcome to Dead House takes place.
It is.
Yep.
What brings them to Dark Falls? What brings this family to Dark Falls?
Well, a late uncle that no one remembers.
And that doesn't...
No one's ever even heard of.
No one's heard of this dead uncle.
Oh, no. No, of course not. No, Amanda and Josh, they are the protagonists in this. They are the children. They are our voice in this book.
Well, Amanda it's written from Amanda's perspective. Like, she is the narrator.
No, so yes, Amanda is the one.
Yeah.
These are the books. I think they've tried a few where it was written in the third person.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm going to say I didn't like those. As a kid, I like to be inside someone else's body.
Wow, okay. If you're just tuning in, this is a podcast about Goosebumps, the popular children's book series written by R.L. Stine. Although, why would you just be tuning in? This is a podcast. You're listening from the beginning, right?
I don't know. People are strange, man. So Amanda and Josh's father inherit a house in Dark Falls from his late Uncle Charles, and nobody even knew it existed. There's no question about it.
But this doesn't raise any red flags.
Not at all. No, when you're getting something for free, a whole free house, drop everything.
Yeah, okay, but let's just say you just get a random letter in the mail saying, hey, you just, some uncle just died that you've never heard of. You've got this great house. It's in Helltown. Are you going to go?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Now, in present time, because in present time it feels like I'm getting scammed. I don't trust anybody in this world. But in the 90s, nobody's trying to screw you over in the 90s.
No, they had already done that in the 80s.
Exactly. 90s were a free time.
Yeah.
A great time. So anyway, they drive up to the house to check it out before moving in. Now, they're checking it out, but I think that Dad's already decided they're doing it.
I mean, he seems pretty dead set on it.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Oh, yeah. Pun somewhat intended, I imagine. No? All right. So the kids are very upset. Josh in particular. What do you think about Josh?
I believe...
He's the whiny younger brother.
Yeah, he is... Well, I know he's the whiny younger brother. He, like, you know... He's a little kid. Like, he's just, I don't want to, I'm done. I don't want to do this. This is dumb. Yeah. I'm going to go play with my dog.
You know, Amanda's 1 year older and so much more mature. She's,
I don't, yeah. A 12-year-old?
What about 12-year-old?
I don't know. It just seems like, you know, all these 12-year-olds are so mature, and it's like, you're 12.
Well, somebody has to take charge, or else it's just going to be a book about people playing with Polly Pockets. No, we want her to go out and do things. So she's got to be a little more mature, and she's more mature than guys.
So, Josh is the younger brother.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it, dude.
I read this book.
Yep. He's being a real jerk.
I mean, that is one word to describe him.
Yeah,
and I think that's a running theme in like all of the books, is that the younger sibling is always some kind of jerk.
Yeah.
All the like even I don't remember if there are older siblings, but whenever there's siblings,
yeah,
the main character, like usually from their perspective, it's like, oh man, and then my annoying brother/sister who's just like acting up, being a little shit, and it's just yeah.
Some of them even run the story. We had the Cuckoo Clock of Doom. It was all about the annoying younger sister.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason. That was his motivation.
Yeah.
And the whole anyway.
We'll
it's
get to that
very very common theme. They get out of the car. The family dog. Now this
Petey.
is very important. Petey. Very important because Petey is kind of a magical animal.
No, because, and I have this written down.
Yeah.
Petey, dog. Dogs always know when ghosts are around.
Yeah. Conveniently.
Well, no, I mean, that's, you know, they always say the dogs are the first to know.
And the dogs are the first to go.
And boy, how does that happen in this one, too?
This is a book where the dog dies. And they kind of gloss over it. But really, that dog is dead and it doesn't come back. They lose that dog.
Yeah.
Dead as a dog, so they say. And I think after this book, R.L. Stine didn't want to kill animals anymore. I don't think he really killed anybody after this.
Well, I mean, wasn't there the barking ghost like that?
Yeah, but that dog was already dead. He wrote a book after that dog had already died.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still a tormented soul.
Sure, okay, but again, we'll get to that one.
Will we? Anyway, the dog is starting to bark and growl at Mr. Dawes now.
Compton
Dawes.
Straight out of Compton.
He's the real estate agent.
Yeah.
The 30-year-old
real estate agent.
Man, I've done
We've done nothing with our lives.
I've made some mistakes in my life because 31 years old and I'm reading a book for 8-year-olds. And there's a character in one of these books who's a real estate agent.
And drives a fancy car.
Oh, so fancy. He's got crinkly blue eyes, too.
Now, how are eyes crinkly?
I don't know. That really made me think he was an old man. And I think in the show he was pretty old.
In the show, he's an old man. He's not 30.
No, not at all.
No.
Maybe that's just what 12-year-olds think a 30-year-old looks like.
Yeah.
That's depressing. But the dog starts barking at him insistently, and the family says, oh, he never does this. Petey never does this. That's not a warning, though.
Did you notice on page 6, I have written here, just a question, Amanda hot for Dawes? Because at one point, she's like, he's kind of cute for an older guy. Or something.
Whoa. Okay, you look that up. I want to see if that's an actual line that R.L. Stine wrote. A 12-year-old kind of moving in on the...
Oh, yeah. He winked at me. He had a cute dimple in his chin when he smiled.
Oh, man. I mean, that could be played off as a little innocent, but I mean, she's right around that age. She's gonna like older guys. Oh. All right, let's move on from this. The family explores the house, but Josh stays outside because he's a little jerk. With the dog, Amanda loves the size of her new room. She's already picked it out. Now, did you take note that she is super stoked because it's big enough for a computer?
I sure did.
Computers were pretty big in the 90s.
They were pretty big, but I mean, who had a computer in 1992, first of all? And also, she got her own computer in 1992?
Now, I need to point out that this family is stinking rich now because they just inherited a house.
Yeah.
The father sold the other house. He is so rich, he's not even going to work anymore. He's going to focus on his writing career.
Do you think R.L. Stein is the father in this story?
I think you write about what you know.
Right.
And I think he must have inherited
this must have actually happened to him.
I think he might, at that time, maybe he was unable to tuck his own shirt into his pants. It just kept popping up. I got a little bit of a gut.
Sure.
Like the father here.
Yeah, no, I know where you're going with that.
They were very descriptive on his gut.
Yeah.
Big enough for a computer, man.
Big enough for a computer.
We never hear about the computer later. I thought the computer would play a big role in this book, but no computer for her. Now, right away, straight off the bat, Amanda sees this boy standing in her doorway. He disappears. And you know what? She's cool with it. She plays it off as just her imagination. When have you ever, Nick, seen a figure and then so calmly just decided that you just saw something?
Well, this one time. Yeah.
Are 12-year-old imaginations so wild that this kind of stuff can happen?
Maybe in the 90s.
Maybe.
Not now.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a few more times in this book, which really makes me wonder if Amanda's got some sort of crippling insanity.
No, I mean, I think, kids have an overactive imagination. I think that's what...
It's not just her imagination.
No.
So now Amanda goes to find her brother, but he's nowhere to be seen. She flips out. He's run away again.
Yeah.
Damn it, Josh. Ran away with the dog.
Yeah.
They go out looking. Mr. Dawes goes out with them. Very friendly real estate agent.
Yeah.
He pulls a cowboy hat out of his trunk. Because Mr. Dawes,
it's a cowboy.
He just rolls that way.
That's he is an urban cowboy.
Yeah. Now they make mention to slapping his wife.
What?
That's what he does in the. That's what he does in Urban Cowboy.
I've never seen it. No, I know.
It gets real dark, like halfway through.
Kind of like this book.
Yeah, he's riding a bull at some point, and then I think his girlfriend tells him it's time to go home, and he just slaps her silly. Kind of serious, and then it moves on. Then he just goes back to riding bulls.
God, the 70s.
It was very explicit that Dawes pulls that cowboy hat out to shield him from the sun.
Yeah.
Because I guess sun sometimes pokes out of Dark Falls. Doesn't really live up to its name.
It seems it's just perpetual cloud cover, but you can't take any chances.
Yeah. Never take chances. Always carry a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
They find Josh running in a graveyard.
Of course they do. Of course they do. In Dark Falls,
frolicking.
I imagine it's just like the biggest thing.
Yeah. Graveyard in every block.
Oh, you live in the graveyard.
Frolic in there. Well, you don't live in a graveyard, Nick.
Well, no, but, people are dying to get in.
Yes.
Hello.
That's true. Amanda thinks he's running away from something. Something's chasing him. Oh, man, chapter break.
Yeah. And this is, like... It happens a lot in this book, and I know it happens a lot in all the other ones. Like, it's a cliffhanger to get to the next chapter.
Gets your heart beating.
Yeah. But it's
flowing.
just like, oh, no, that person grabbing you from behind it's your shitty brother. It's your friend. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not exciting. It's just like, oh God, come on, let's just get on with it.
And this is part of maybe what makes me think that Amanda has some serious problems here, because she freaks out. She's like, oh my God, he's running. Who's he running from? What's happening?
Very quick to react.
Very quick to react. Very quick to just freak out without using her mind. And then right away, she's like, oh, no. He's just chasing the dog.
Yeah. It's
okay.
I which means like, oh, maybe her imagination is just, like, that's one of those things where her imagination is just so overactive that she's like, oh, well, I guess I did just imagine that boy in my room staring at me.
Yeah, maybe all of this is going to make her into the girl who cried wolf.